Eloy, we're done. Can you make sure you do the punk rock one?
No, stop!
And we're recording.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Primas podcast. I am Cindy. Hey, oh, I get to do that in person. And this is my beautiful cousin, Jess.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Thanks for tuning in. Hey Prima, how's it going? Wow, we're like right next to each other.
It's going beautifully.
Good.
Yeah.
This is our season finale. We are taking some time off. I know we haven't really talked about it, but we need some space from each other.
Yeah,
I'm not even that excited to see you right now.
Mm-hmm. You made that clear in the last few episodes. I'm like,
I know. But we have been recording for a year straight.
It's because she lives in LA, so she's just like, so we've been, our entourage, it's been really crazy or whatever. Yeah.
For my book.
Mm-hmm. For your book.
Mm-hmm.
Your book is Name It, Do It, Achieve It, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've entitled it, but that sounds amazing.
Name It, Do It, Achieve It. That sounds like an award-winning book.
So I'm definitely excited for this little break. So today's going to be a quick episode, guys. We're just going to do a little recap of season 2 and give shout outs to our guest speakers and just reminisce a little bit, go over some high points and low points, and then we're done. We're just going to not even close off. We're just going to cut it.
Like, all right, where's the button? Yeah. And if we're messing around, especially me a lot, it's because we've never... Okay, so this is the first time we're recording like an actual live video, and we're going to post this. And we've talked about it. I always mess around a lot and record myself, but it's still very nerve-wracking when you do it for the first time, because just looking at ourselves right now is such a huge distraction. Like, why am I worried about my hair? And I'm sure once you record yourself enough, you just kind of get into this rhythm, So bear with us, because this is the first time we do this, and we're right next to each other, which is like crazy, because we're always like across.
Mm-hmm.
And then like if we don't want something, we can mute ourselves, we can like take the camera off real quick, and right now it's just like boom in your face. So shout out to all those people that like really put themselves out there like that.
Definitely.
All right, well,
yeah, let's recap this season. I think I wanted to start with our guest speakers this season. We started season 2 early January, and we thought new year, new us, and it crashed and burned very quickly, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it was a very rough year for us, like personally. And so this is kind of like reminiscing, because I think a lot of, I don't know what people might think, because as much as we ask for interaction, like we're still new in the game. So I don't want to feel like we deserve people to just, like give us something we want. And so we never know. We're just kind of like throwing and seeing what sticks. But what was I going to say? I think doing a podcast, there's a lot of time commitment involved. And we have besides the podcast, we live such busy lives. Like we have small children. And it's just, like that age group, because people are like, well, everyone has kids. Like, no, but they're in that age where we were working full time. They're not sleeping well. It's a lot of regular stresses. And then on top of that, we're adding this huge thing, which I think is lovely and beautiful. And I feel super duper blessed. I say this a lot to everybody. If anybody has a complaint or says like, what are you guys going to do or whatever, I'm like, I'm just thankful that this is even happening, because that's beautiful. I'm just very, very thankful for Jessica, for Eloy's time, for anybody who's ever worked with us. And we're going to get into that. So yeah, we're very thankful.
Yeah, this year, I agree. We keep saying, so dramatic. This year, it was really tough on us. Like, in our own personal lives. Like we were going through a lot of challenges, we were learning and experiencing things that were out of our control, but we just had to roll with it. And I think early on, there was so much friction between us. And looking back now, like 4 months later, it's like, how did we even get past that little hurdle in life? But looking back at it now, it's like, wow, we really pushed through that. We still made it happen every week and continue to have guest speakers. I think that month we had like 3 guest speakers, which is a lot of preparation for us because we got to get to know that person. We have to have questions ready for them and just roll with it. So we want to be overly prepared. And it just took a lot out of us. And by March, I was like, yeah, I don't think we're going to last much longer. I see it like
it's done.
Yeah.
This was a good run.
It was.
Yeah.
But here we are a year later from the year we started talking about it, putting this project into fruition and seeing it come to life was about a year ago, last May. Remember when Melissa and we're like, Eloy, like we really want to start this podcast. We're doing book club. And we're like, let's just do it. Fuck it. And we started with scripts, which I'm not even comfortable releasing those episodes because it sounds like a PowerPoint presentation. Like we were in school and we had our notes and we would catch each other and be like, no, Cindy, you didn't see your line right. And it's just like, whoa.
They were cute though. I think those are so cute because we were beginning and we're like, how do you even do this? How do you even just talk? And so the topic part is also very time consuming because when you find something, we also have to make sure it clicks for both of us. I feel like now that we have a whole year, I feel better about
our chemistry.
Yes. Like I know what you like. I'm learning. Not I think a year is like still, it's a huge accomplishment that we recorded every single damn week. Except for like what, 3?
Yeah, Christmas, I think.
Yeah.
We had a break, but even then we were still working, you know, you came out, we did the intro season for this new video. And that's why this year we're like trimming the fat. We're doing simplicity. We're like, we're not going to overdo it ourselves because we're so new in the game, like Cindy just said. And I think we were trying to tackle way more than what we can handle. So now I think we learned that in a year. And I am excited for season 3, but I need this break, like, just to re-energize. Yeah, exactly.
And put this behind us. I think psychologically speaking, I think it's cool that it's like chapters where the first season I thought was cool, but then we had like Melissa, right? Like Melissa was like, I'm out. And we had to support that. And so it's just like, how can, because we're doing a family thing. And I'm very conscious of the fact that we're kind of going into a business venture or a project, whatever you want to call it, with family. And I always thought, and you brought up earlier, you said we got through some hurdles, but like, it's so important to make mistakes. We've talked about this, but how do you learn without putting yourself out there and be like, oh shit, that did not work. Or that went terribly wrong. Or that, like, those things were very helpful. They were frustrating in the moment because, like I said, we're tired. We have our kids running around. We're trying to focus on organizing stuff, on marketing every single week. That's another thing we spend a lot of time on is on Instagram or preparing, because a lot of the time I'll write my posts whenever I have free time, like on the weekend, and I'll just be like, here, Jess, and I'll start sending, or she'll be like, oh, it's just very time consuming. And then, so I think mistakes are very important. I guess that's what I was trying to get at is I don't think none of the stuff that we've done has been weird or wrong. It's been just, you have to learn, you have to do it and learn. And the other thing was our equipment. We don't have good speakers. We all sound crazy when I'm listening back to us, like on my car, on my phone, like the volumes range. And I'm like, that is not pleasant to be listening to. And I'm like, there's just so much stuff. They're like, we got to work on this. We got to work on that. And
so I think this season, even though it's a year into it and it's season 3, we're going in this season with definitely way more experience. And what was the word I was trying to go for? And I totally lost it. Simplicity and quality. That's the word. I think we're trying to do too much quantity the first 2 seasons. And this season, we're definitely focusing on our quality and just like polishing off the foundation of why we started this.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like a lot of people that I know that are trying to do like little ventures, they spend a lot of time and effort on like the flyer or like the image or whatever. And we didn't have time for all of it. So we had to stick to, for me, it was like, I want to talk about these issues. And if we're not afraid to put it out there, it's not polished, but we have time to play with to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a whole year, when you go into something like a podcast, it's the first year is like nothing. It's like, good. You have a year worth of practice under your belt, and it really helps. That whole year is extremely important. But now we're a little bit more comfortable. We have to experiment. And even doing this video thing is like, oh shit. We were both like, no. And I'm like, let's just do it. And yeah. So I thank you. I think we're very brave.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to keep making mistakes, but just put yourself out there or do what you want to do. You know, like it's going to be scary, but once you do it, you realize like, no, it's all learning. It's all a learning experience. Even if you do fail, we need to not be afraid to fail. So, all right. Bye. No,
we're done. Let's wrap it up.
So that's how I feel. Okay. So I wanted to ask real quick. Wait, did we ever talk about these?
No,
I said I wanted
to start it, but then you went on your
into
rant. You're like, actually, just hold on before you see how she always just cuts me off.
Sorry.
No, but this season we did have amazing guest speakers. We had some returning. We had new ones through our network. We were able to bring on different people that we don't even have. I think season 1, we brought on guest speakers within our circle, you know, not immediately, but people within our network, you know, like, oh, I went to school with this person. I know this person directly. This season, we definitely reached out to people who are not even in our circle, not even in our city. And we networked with them and brought them on like, hey, like we really admire this about you, or you've inspired me to do this or that. So with our first guest speaker, we wanted to give a shout out to Erica, and she came in our sex ed topic. Thank you, Erica.
I just want to say real quick, like behind the scenes, that was a very last minute thing. And when we book speakers, it takes a really long time, right? We got to build chemistry. We got to get to know them. Even before we slide in the DMs, I've already studied this person. And so that way they know that I'm invested, even if it doesn't end up working out. I always approach networking in that way. And so with Erica, Jessica handled that one, and it was really quick. So like the fact that she was down to, I mean, it's just hard, you know, to find time to actually just be down to record yourself and talk about something specific. So thank you so much, Erica, for being flexible and lenient.
Yay, thanks. And then our second guest speaker of the season was Jessica Hernandez, which Cindy found through social media. And she joined us for our Mind, Body, and Soul episode, which left a huge impression on me because that's when I started my vegan transition, or like being way more conscious of what I started consuming. And she came on, I think, late February. And since March, I've completely eliminated dairy products from my diet. And I'm just way more conscious in doing different things. So shout out to Jessica. So
yes, Jessica, man, I can't believe she talked to me type of thing. Like when I slid in her DMs, I'm like, she's gorgeous. She's going to be like, no, girl, I'm not doing your little podcast. And she didn't. So thank you, Jessica. Yeah, I feel like she's a mentor spiritually for me. She just, as a woman, carries herself with a lot of grace. And she's a minority woman, you know, and she's from California. She's from North California, but still, you know, there's like that culture. And I'm just happy and honored that I was able to make that connection. So hopefully we bring her back on for season 3. If you're listening.
Yeah. And this person was all a huge benefit to having her on. Yeah, she even made us cry during her guest appearance, which shout out to Georgina. She was on the therapy with the Primas, a licensed MFT. And that episode, I think, gave us a lot of feedback, positive feedback, because it's tough. It's so taboo talking about therapy. And I've been open in my experience and my journey, and even hearing her talk in a different perspective than my own therapist was just very enlightening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was amazing. I highly encourage, if this is the first time watching, check out her episode. It's Therapy with the Primas, season 2. She talks about inner child trauma, right? What was the word? Was it that?
Inner child.
She does a lot of she focuses on inner child, but she's an actually licensed marriage and family therapist, where we studied psychology, like a 4-year degree. And we just have a lot of respect for and it's just helped us personally. Like it's a huge deal, you know, psychology, understanding human behavior. I'm so fascinated by it that I'm like, cool, let's talk about this on the podcast and you know what we think. So when she came on, yeah, it was very sentimental for me. She made me crack. I wanted to pay her afterwards. Like, how much do I owe you? Because I like really made some changes. But anyway, so hopefully we bring her back on too. Yay.
Yeah. Another one was Mariela for our finance topic. And even her, we networked with her. I think she's Robert's coworker, your brother?
Mariela, yes.
Yeah.
We got her through my brother. There's another person we need to bring on. But anyways, yes, she's also changed my life. Well, she's coaching both of us in our finances.
We actually did hire her. So, you know, and it's, okay, well, we'll talk about that after. But shout out to her because it's put some perspective into my finances, like being in a, like, single mom, you know, doing my own thing and budgeting. Like, I don't have that supportive partner where I can fall back and be like, oh, well, my income isn't enough, so I have another income. And it really put things in perspective for me, even more so, like putting things down on paper. After a month of talking to her, I was like, no, I need more. So it motivated me to go out and apply for a different position within my company, and I got it. And so it's just things like that where you have to put work into like whatever you're trying to create for yourself, you know, nothing's going to be handed to you, but we're trying to work on our finances. So we're the collection calls can stop.
Yeah.
Those
I
are
highly
also
encourage anyone to like, I'm not a person, I feel like Jessica's always a little bit more responsible when it came to money. I never have been until it became apparent. Then I was like, oh shit, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm done, right? Like I'm done playing with these finances. And so yeah, I think it's very freeing. I think I just highly encourage it. It's like getting a personal trainer. I also highly encourage. It's expensive, it's time consuming, but it's gonna change your life. Make that investment.
Oh my God.
Anyway, yes, it's an investment, and if you know somebody, I mean, reach out to her, but she's doing this on the side, so she gets busy. But like if you know anybody, you know, that's in the community that you're like, give classes, you know, teach people, because it's such a boring topic, but with a coach that understands it and understands the culture, you know, it's beautiful. Because I was just like, this is what it is, man. This is my stuff. She's just like, oh, you'll be fine. Like, we're gonna get through this. And so anyway. Yeah, that was a huge.
And then our most recent guest speaker was Rudy with our networking episode, which aired last week. And then our usual OG Primos, Martine, and shout out to Robert. So we ended this season with Rudy was a reoccurring guest. He came out in season 1, and we kind of did like a part 2 of his first time appearing on us. And then now we went and delved into networking, which, you know, was successful this season for us, because this is how the majority of our guest speakers came from, just merely networking and getting to know people who are not directly within either of our circles.
Yeah, that last episode is really cool too. Networking, even if you're not doing a brand or a podcast, even if you're just trying to have people that we've met, like just people that are like successful, happy, have their finances together, anything that you aspire to be, if you find people like that, slide in their DMs, seriously, and just make them your friends and make them a contact that you can maybe get mentorship from, because that's huge. And we need to build that network, you know, like that online community. I wanted to say with Martine and Robert, thank you, brothers, for coming on. Martine came on a lot this season. We needed some spark, and you know, we tried all kinds of different things, and so he came on, free labor, had to deal with us, and just, I don't know, I'm very thankful for you guys. Anytime, you know, we have guests, but like when you're constantly like trying to make yourself available, I just want to say thank you to Martine for like filling in. We appreciate it. And you added some funny moments, so you know. We love you or whatever.
We chuckled a bit, so thanks, Martine. And Robert, as usual, for all his wisdom and everything. So thanks, cousins. I also deeply appreciate it.
And remember, Robert, you're old.
I see that.
Because Jessica always, if you guys are true fans, you'll know that Jessica's always just like, everyone who's a day older than her, ancient. Like, well, how are you still alive?
Like, what's your secret to look this great? Jess, we're born the same year.
Yeah. So Robert's like 80 in her eyes. So yeah.
And then our final shout out to our big producer.
You can't see, but my other hand's in the picture. No, it just seems like I'm doing this. Wait, can we like fix this? Or no?
The chairs. Just roll with it.
Okay. Final shout out. Very important person to the Primas podcast. We're so thankful that everything he's done, you know, like I feel very thankful for my brother Eloy. If you guys are ever looking for an editor, he does all kinds of stuff, and so I'm just really thankful that we get to work with him and that we started this, and he was just like a huge part. He's behind the scenes, so you might not know him, but he puts like the funny little stuff together, the videos, our YouTube stuff,
the sound effects,
everything.
The layout, everything on YouTube. So thanks, Eloy, so much. We truly appreciate you. Yeah, so it was a productive season, but
yeah, just personally, you know, a little suicidal. No, I'm just fine. But yeah,
there was some dark times.
There were some very dark times. But those times brought us growth. You know? Now looking back, as always, this always happens. When you're in the middle of something, you're going through something, you're like, damn, my life sucks. You just get into this deep, weird headspace. And then when you overcome it, you're just so strong, and you learn that, and you kind of realize how amazing the human is, you know, how amazing we are to be able to adapt. And it's all in your head. That's always the thing of it. It's just like, control your mind, control your thoughts. And yeah.
Exactly. And then like reflecting back on this season, I really liked how not only were we trying to stay on topic with current topics, you know, like the whole Capitol Hill invasion, the Stop Asian Hate, but I looked back and it's like everything that Cindy and I were trying to fix in our lives, we just wanted to share it with everyone. So like we were legit growing, you know, when it came to therapy, when it came to mind, body, and soul, and the dating aspect, and then
the trauma bond. That whole thing was like, personally, I'm like, oh my God, I just found this term. We gotta talk about it.
Yeah, so we incorporated a lot of our topics within our growth, and it's crazy how a lot of it, you know, maybe that might not be as relevant in my life, or you know, not in Cindy's, but nonetheless, it was both of us combined. Like we both related, and it's resonated with both of us, all these topics, and we grew from each of them. And so I think that was a big influence on our topics this season, was like what we were going through or trying to fix and work on ourselves, and not like regress backward.
It's kind of like artists, you know, like rappers or singers or musicians or I'm sure actors, you know, just different types of artists, while they put their experiences into songs or whatever. I feel like for the podcast, it's definitely like, I'm going through this, maybe, I mean, we're always, you know, we try to find solutions to our problems. So I feel like when we find something that works, we're like, oh, let's share this in case someone's ever, because we go through a lot of the same stuff. We're human. You know, relationships are relatable. Communication, bettering yourself. Everyone wants to be better. You know, everybody wants to feel better, and mentally and emotionally, and yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. What was a pros and con to this season?
A pro was definitely the growth, and
I didn't take
a con was the hardships. Like listening back to some of these episodes, I hear it in my voice, you know, like I kind of I'm not in the right state of mind to like start recording, even though we did do it, and I'm glad we pushed through it. It was really tough this season. It was really hard. So definitely it was growth and like just self-reflecting, like always, you know, but yeah, so thanks, Prima. All those times I'd call you and I'm like, oh, Cindy, I don't want to do it today. And you're like, just do it.
I was abusive. You're so weak.
That's all that happened to you today. Get over it.
Guess what happened to me? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't know that.
No, yeah, it was just tough. I thought it was just a really challenging.
But that's crazy because then you're showing, like, I know what it is to record when you're not feeling it. It's so hard. Like, where's your energy? And I didn't feel. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You have a skill set.
I do. Remember my customer service?
I
feel like I did my customer service. I had to bring that experience
can I do it?
into that.
So Jessica came over to Colorado and she was working online. And so she was working from home and she was doing customer service, right? But it was just the craziest thing. So everyone knows customer service. It's very like DMV-ish, but not Jessica. Jessica was giving quality. And I'm like, bro, that's a skill. Like you need to write this shit down on your resume. So she would be like, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to help you. We're going to do this. And just like the most professional, loving, warm person. And I'm like, wow. And then she'd be like, oh, this dumb ass lady doesn't know how to do this. And I'd be like, what? You feel this way? Because that's what you're giving off. And I think that's like really beautiful. Because imagine if we could all do that. Like, we don't always have to be happy. And then customer service is a tough one because you kind of always do have to be happy. It'll go easier, right? But it could be abusive with the clients. Because they can get very like, so that was amazing.
I know, definitely a lot of
so
years.
that's what you did for the podcast.
It was like
wow,
8
your
years
skills are transferring over.
I definitely did do that. What about yours?
Yeah.
What were your
my
pros
downs?
And cons?
What were your pros?
Growth, like growing through the podcast. Like I felt way confident and better. I mean, if I had to give it a percentage, I'm not like 100% confidence on the podcast, but it grew from last year. And being in the front of the camera, even though I only did one video, but damn, throw me a bone over here.
That's true. No, that's amazing. Good. I always tell you, every once in a while, I'll send you that one type of text. Just like, I gotta go to sleep now, Prima. Okay, good night.
So that was my pro.
Okay, so my cons, get ready. Just playing. I think I said this in in all 10 of our seasons. Time. Because I'm just so tired after work. And I go and pick up my baby and it's mommy time. And so I have to like plan this. We got to orchestrate around. Oh God, it's just a lot of work. So yeah, it's that part. But I mean, I don't feel bad about it. I also feel, like I said, thankful. I always remember like, hey, you got a podcast. Like not everybody, like you, that's cool. You have people showing up for you. And so I got to remind myself, but yeah, so the time commitment, especially when we do networking, it's extremely time consuming because we want the collaboration to match. We want there to be chemistry and we don't always get it right. We've gotten it right for the most part, but there's been times where I maybe didn't do enough research or we rushed something or, where again, we learned from it. And the networking is very time consuming.
Yeah.
Because you meet someone that's cool. First of all, you come across someone, you're like, oh shit, they're really cool. I like their message. Maybe we can bring them on. Now it's like, let's do your homework on this person. And that's time consuming.
And preparation. Yeah.
And the preparation. And then finding a topic that they're going to be able to feel natural, to be like, oh, I love this. I can talk about this. That's hard. So it's not hard. It's just time consuming. And it has to be relevant. It has to be a topic that we think could bring value of some sort. So yeah, the time commitment is.
That was your pro or con?
No, that's my con.
Yeah, the con. I was like, wait, you're talking good about it.
Negatively. And then my con, man, I've been saying this, that we have a podcast and we're hoping to go on video soon. So that's going to be crazy, but I'm excited and I'm thankful that Jess is down to do it, that we're going to give it another shot because it was tough.
It was.
But it always is. And I feel like that's what you got to do is you got to just go through the hurdles, like remember what's your bigger goal? Why are you doing this? All the time and money we've invested. Are you going to throw it away? It's like a relationship. Are you going to nourish it? And nourishing a relationship takes time and energy. And so it has to be something you love, So I feel like I do my part to nourish the relationship. How do you feel?
Good. I feel like you do. I agree. I think you put way more time and effort into it than I do. So
wow, it's the first time I didn't know. That
I mean, I prepare, but not to the extent like you do. But that's just, I think, in your nature. That's just who you are. You don't half-ass anything, you know, when it comes to meal prep, when it comes to like your day, you're so organized.
Wow, you think that?
Mm-hmm. And me, I'm like, okay, well, today's like this. And then come noon, I'm like, you know what? Everything goes out the window. Like, we'll
Give
try
me that
again
donut,
tomorrow.
Mom.
We'll try again tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah. No.
I'm there right now, but you have it way more down and you're way more on it. What's the word I'm looking for?
Structured.
Yeah.
Disciplined.
Disciplined.
High performing.
I was just saying disciplined, but that's enough. Stop.
Okay. Well, yeah, you know what I think helps is that I'm away in the middle of nowhere in Colorado. Even though that's not the middle of nowhere for someone who's from like in California, it's like there's no people over there. It's like there's people. But yeah, I think that really helps, you know? Because every time I come to LA, I'm always like, I could I've been in Colorado for so long that I'd have to like move. I wouldn't be able to interact with my family. I'd keep it the same. I'd be like, no, I'll see you guys once or twice a year. Maybe Jessica, because we have like this together and the girls are little, like they're the same age, but no, I need a lot of alone time in order for me to be able to focus.
Yeah. And I'm out here, so I have way more distractions. I'm like, oh, I want to try to do this. Like, I want to go do that, you know, and I'm way more of a social butterfly than this antisocial.
I'm a social butterfly, but
yeah, once or twice a year you are. You just said it. You're like, no.
And the podcast takes a lot of social energy. Like, I'm like, hey guys. And inside I'm like, fuck this, Cindy, you're not cut out for this. Just quit now. Get some therapy. But I'm like, no, people need to hear this. Just kidding. No, but yeah.
So during your time off, what do you have planned?
So
by the way, we're taking 2 full weeks off. We're not going to talk to each other. We're blocking each other on all social media and our phone numbers. We really want to miss each other, like a relationship.
I don't miss us. Yeah.
No, we want to. Yeah, exactly. Right now we don't, but in 3 weeks we want to hear.
I think that's a quote from Superbad. What do I have planned? You know, it's kind of hard to take time off the podcast. So I have planned to kind of work on some like scheduling some stuff in, and I think, but just not recording. Mm-hmm. The recording is crazy. It's just another situation, you know? So like all the other back stuff, I could just do whenever I have free time. So, I mean, I'm still working. Like I'm not taking any real vacations.
Aren't you going to go on a real vacation?
Yeah. We're going to go to Mexico. I always go somewhere in the summer with my babes to just either to LA or Mexico or something. And yeah, so we'll do that. But I'm in work mode, you know, because like we're still working. But I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I always try to relax. I'm going with my brothers, but even though we're going together, we're staying a lot, like 6 days or something.
Yeah, way longer than Cancun.
Yeah, and it's like a resort, like an all-inclusive or whatever. Inclusive because it's included. Yes, and then I just love going to hotel rooms and just showering and laying down, room service and the TV, and like you don't got to do your bed, and oh my god, so I'm looking forward to that. Of course I'm looking forward to like being on the beach and stuff, but I like being alone, you guys. I'm a loner. Mm-hmm. But I'm going with my brothers and I really want to see them, but that's the once or twice a year thing. Mm-hmm. It's my cap.
Seriously.
Them too. My family complains a lot about me. Like I know they love me, but they also like secretly like, all right, that she moves. She's like always here. You like always gotta see her.
I know. But that's good. And then we're planning Vegas. Let's see how that goes. But every time we say Vegas, it's like a trigger for us.
Mm-hmm. We spent a lot of time in Vegas, you guys in our 20s. We're just like
we
promised we would never go back.
And every time it's like contemplated, it's just like, well, I don't want to go unless you go. And it's just like, well, I don't want to go unless we're gonna sleep like this amount of time, and
we're gonna get back at early.
So it's just a lot of time frames we put on ourselves.
Yeah, we finally understand that we're becoming adults, and that's
Last week, remember I told you when I was like, "Fuck, this is how I know I'm no longer in party mode," because the helicopter kept hovering around my place, and I was like, "That's it. I'm gonna call the cops." Like. I couldn't believe like waking up the next morning and I was like, I was that person. It was like 8:00 on a Saturday night.
On a Saturday night. Jessica was like, I'm downloading the citizen.com app. And I'm gonna report the neighbors. That was funny.
I know.
Yeah, that's adulting. Yeah, in LA, I don't know if you guys are listening to this and you're not from LA, like a lot of the houses are like paper thin type. I don't know how they don't like blow over. In Colorado, we have insulation. No, but it's just like the weather differences. Like we have to. It snows over there. It gets really cold.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't hear, because of that, you get used to, like, you can't hear. You're like, we don't hear our neighbors.
Yeah, here it's
Here, you hear everyone's stories, everyone's life inside their house. And I'm like, how did I used to do it? Because me and my grandparents' house, and we were loud.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and my grandparents, they were loud to each other.
Yeah, everyone just knows the chisme because of that reason. So last week I was like, that's it. That's me. Like I'm 31 and thinking when I was 21, I was like, never in my life did I think at 31 would I be pulling this. And here I am on the weekend, you know?
And I also want to say, we've been saying this, like even I met up with my best friend last night. We are so happy that we had fun. You know, I think that goes to show that when you do turn a certain age, it's just like, you're just kind of like, can we get back home early? Because I'm not trying to really like wake up tired. You just put so much planning and effort into like, it's not going to be, like you got to mentally prepare your diet that day, like just in case. Anyways, and it's yeah, we had a lot of fun though. And that's why Vegas is like, I mean, we used to just be there all broke. I don't know how we made it happen.
Me either.
We're just like, let's go. Does anyone have any money? No. It'll be
Let's
fine.
just drive. We get paid in
We'll
a
think
couple of
about
days.
it on the way.
Yeah, we'll fix it when we're there. But this was a good season overall, Prima. I'm excited for this little break, but it was a good season. So thank you also.
Yeah, it was good. It was necessary. Yeah, we're gonna take a break, but we're gonna be back soon. We air our first next episode
Early July. I don't have a date.
early July. We do have a date.
We're just gonna take some time off. Yeah.
Off the top of our heads. We do have a date, but we just don't know it.
But thanks, guys, for always tuning in. Shout out to everyone who supported us. It's been a year, and our follower increase has gone up. It was just family at first. So shout out to family. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thanks for supporting us.
Thanks to all our friends.
Letty, Nelly,
And whatever
Your
other
mom.
followers.
I think Amanda and Stephanie.
Yeah. All our friends. Thank you, guys. We love you. Best friends.
Maria, who made Denver.
Oh, yeah. She came on season 1, right?
Yeah. And if I'm not telling you, it's because I don't know if you guys are actually listening to us. Not that you have to. But there's just some people that they're doing us the favor. They're like, all right. So I'm like, hey, we just dropped a new episode. Can you please listen? Like every single week. But anyway, yay. So we're done. Goodbye, season 2. We got to move on. It's not us. It's you.
And the Primas are out.
This is the famous bye.
Bye.